Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to our Yule episode, or Christmas episode, whichever one you wish to go for. Alrighty. Oh, right. Okay, I should have done this before. Oh, it works so perfectly. Alright. So, this is going to take place sort of in between events. So, if you want to skip this episode, you can, because there's not going to be a whole lot of canon. There's going to be a little bit of canon into this. But this is going to take place in the past. This is going to take place between when they left Fargan and they went to go meet the cat lady. So, let me go back to my notes really quickly. Right afterwards, you all escaped the dungeon. Yes. You escaped the dungeon, and you all had a little fight with each other. With that fact. You got a message to see the cat lady, but before then, you both decide to relax and hang back for a bit, as it is nearing that time of year that is Yule, or as half of Fargan is calling it, Savior's Day.
I already don't like it. I hate the saviors.
So, what has gone on is that Fargan is technically a free city that is not pertained by any singular government other than its own. So outside governments technically do not have any control over the city itself. However, the Church of the Saviors has decided to put kind of a claim on the city, since at the peak of the city, because remember this is a tiered city with multiple tiers going upwards, at the peak of that is the statue they created commemorating the Saviors. And it is one of the structures that they hold very near and dear to them. They have kind of put a claim onto the city, although it's entirely symbolic and means absolutely nothing. So, as you all are going around and doing your stuff, you see the normal Yule stuff, but you see also priests preaching about, I'm kind of ripping off the Catholic Church at this point, they are claiming at this point in time that the Saviors were all born on this day. And that this is the Savior's birthday, technically. And so they're trying to change it from the multi-god tradition to their single-minded narrative of the Saviors are the only ones to be worshipped. So as you're going around, you can see that kind of clash happening. It's not like a physical clashing, it's more of a, like one shopkeep has one thing up, another shopkeep has another thing up, and it's just like a whole thing.
What lean over and be like, I don't understand why they need to do so much work. Put a holiday on Finra or on Ullr's solstice. It's the changing of seasons. Isn't that good enough?
Some people less in tune with nature need a little help to celebrate such things.
As a drunken person fumbles in front of you.
Not my idea of celebration, however.
Where's mine?
Glunk, glunk, glunk. So what do you guys want to do?
I suppose Fenrir, even though they are in quite a hurry, has his own ideas of what Ullr, how to pay respects to Ullr on this day. Or at least on a similar day in the season.
Mm-hmm. So,
any fun ideas?
You can ascend to the chapels and pay your respects. Because remember, the chapel, whilst there are churches, there's like a larger, more grand chapel towards the top that has the shrines for all the different gods.
Sure.
As you go to the top and as you do this, you get a slight chill in the air as the temperature starts to turn a little more south, and you see snow start to fall from the sky. As
Blessing?
you... Huh?
A blessing? It's a whole question. He hasn't been in the city much, or ever.
Maybe.
Where is God?
As you get into the chapel itself, it is quite nippy outside. And your furs and that are lined in your armor are keeping you warm, but just barely at this point. It seems quite unnaturally cold.
Normally I love this weather, but I can't have my full coat on. Did you see any such strange weather in the cities? I thought they built them in the places most stable.
Cities aren't usually my forte. I prefer to stay in the woods, particularly in the winter. I'm relatively new to all this civilization.
Do others seem surprised by the snow?
Yes. As you enter the church and you're now inside, and it's much warmer inside the church, you see priests are kind of like eyeing outside, like trying to see what's like, why is it so cold? What's going on type thing. There are several people who are unfazed, who are like closed eyes and just fully devoted into the shrine that they're in. They have no clue what's happening. All the shrines are lit. There are lit altars and lit what are those things? Those like little candle things that you have like on a stand. I'm forgetting what it's called.
Like
Anyway.
the candelabras?
I think so. We're gonna go with that. Thought a candelabra hanged from a ceiling, but no, that's a chandelier.
That's
No.
a chandelier.
I
And
think you're right.
sconces are the ones on the walls.
So there are several candelabras lining down the main walkway. They're all lit, and at the end of this kind of like hallway-esque church is a hearth with like a roaring fire that's heating up the room.
Fenrir will excuse himself and be towards Ullr's dedication, presuming they have one. The giving an offering, taking off the hood for once, revealing normal person man, and and then touching particular furs. He'll pray to Ullr, and expecting mostly at maximum like visions in response. He'll ask if this snow is his blessing as god of winter.
As you pray to him, he connects for the first time in a little bit. And he goes, "No, this is not my work. Something else is amiss."
Something mischievous?
Unknown.
I can find out more here.
Possible.
I will send you what I know if I find anything.
Walk the path of truth. And he disconnects.
Fenrir will stand up, finishing some rituals, and come over to Nox and be like, "Well, Ullr confirmed to me that this snow is something to look into."
Makes sense
Not-
in the middle of a wasteland.
To be fair, you can find most any weather out here, but not typically on the city's roof. Let's see if we can find anything going on here. I worry that if it's somehow connected to our grand enemy.
As you
All right.
exit the church, the storm has moved more raging. Whereas before it was cold winters and a peaceful snowfall, now there is a shearing cold wind rushing through the city in its entirety. As you step out, you feel as though the ice has gripped your very skin. And you begin to almost feel like you are freezing to death.
Why they're changing this rapidly is not natural.
Damn these humans. Otherwise, I would be more comfortable. Where do you think it's coming from? A place on this plane? Fenrir will just look up towards the highest point in the city.
As you look up to the highest point of the city, you can see swirling dark clouds right above the tallest head of the statue of the Saviors.
Fenrir will just kind of nod that direction, gesture.
Yeah, Nox would follow his gaze and eye the clouds for a moment. Well, that's not ominous.
Let's go look.
As you ascend, the temperature gets colder and colder, and as you get to the peak, you see a gateway before you, a tear within the fabric of the universe itself.
Yelling over cold winds as he's holding his cloak really close and tight. Think it's here out of convenience.
Nox would just use a produce flame cantrip to hold a little ball of fire to keep himself warm.
As you do that, you can see, oh wait, roll me a d100 really quickly.
There we go.
I just realized, spell time.
We're rolling dice.
Quick d100. 62.
That is a 62.
62. Oh, okay. If you die within the next minute, you come back to life as if by the reincarnate spell.
Epic.
You're gonna come back and just be a human.
Yeah, I forget what the reincarnate spell does. Oh.
It's roulette on your race in exchange for it being much cheaper than most revivals.
Fine.
Nox comes back, just regular person.
It is much cheaper too. Oh my gosh.
Or like a kobold or something. Something really obscure.
I will say it is much cheaper than like, what is that one that just revives people with like the diamond?
Oh, Revivify.
Revivify. It is so much cheaper than Revivify. It
And
was like 100 gold and some oils.
To get reincarnated. So like, it's so much more achievable for a group to like get saved by a druid.
Now, do they get their memories still?
Yes, they were just completely brought back to life. The only side effect is
their race changes.
Race change.
If it changes.
It is random.
Discretion or is it?
It's pretty explicit on.
There is a chart that you roll on.
On.
There is a chart. I have it here.
100.
Okay.
I really like it because there's some cost to death, and it's not, haha, make a new character.
Yeah. Anyways, as the fireball lights up, you see like the rest of your hand, that is, like the tips of your fingers look normal, but the rest of your hand look to be like covered in like thick frost. As you are slowly like heating yourself up with this just tiny ball of fire in your hands. It is also casting light, and you can fully see the tear of the portal.
Is there anyone around, like at all at this point?
There is no one around.
And it like the snow is covering us to the point where we're like, whatever color our clothes were before, now they're white.
So, yes, but I would say they're more frost covered than snow covered, as well as the fact that any snow, there comes times when like the snow piles up and then there's a large ass gust that blows literally the entirety of the snow away into the air again. So the snow is coming down hard, but also the wind's just blowing it around. and back up into the air itself.
For mostly flavorful reasons, Fenrir is going to look around and look at Nox as like, would you, like shivering, would you mind if I...
If you...
He'll just shrug if that wasn't enough and start transforming into beast form this time because it's nice and fuzzy.
So there's no one else
You
around.
do get much more warm. You're not like completely shivering right now, but it's still nippy and cold.
So after he does that, he'll like grunt over. Go to portal.
Well, we certainly can't leave it be, not with what we've seen of portals previously. Well, not that I've seen. I don't know what your experience is of them, but they're not usually good. So yeah,
He'll chuckle deeply and start walking towards it.
Nox would follow, sort of like just chucking the flame that he conjured, just like bobbing it from hand to hand, almost like it's a hot potato.
As you get closer, and as you're about to enter the portal, you hear a low, oh, oh, oh.
Oh god, it's Demon Santa.
Before you enter the portal.
Fenrir will just growl in the direction.
As you
Nox
enter
would
the
just
portal,
cock his head curiously.
everything comes to a standstill as you fall out from the sky and onto freshly soft snow. And as you fall, it's not as if you normally fall on soft snow where you just go right through it. It's actually somewhat tangible, almost like a memory foam. And you like fall onto it, and as you get up, it turns back into like normal snow. In the distance, you can see what looks to be like a factory type workshop.
Portal opened from this side, he says slowly and gruffly.
So, can we see the portal from
The
side
portal
right
is
now?
up in the air. As you look up, you can see it, yes.
Possibly, but it seems more out of place here than it did where we were. It was on ground level there. Here it's in the middle of nowhere.
To be fair, you were at the top of the city, which is a pretty high elevation, so.
True. But like we were able to just step into it, whereas we couldn't do that here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it still makes it feel like it was convenient for one side and not the other.
Yeah. Depends if it was an invitation, I suppose.
Like, I didn't really check that hard, but there was no sign of anyone nearby on our side.
Nope, not that you can see.
Fenrir will just look over and be like, whether wizard or demon, we should go see if they can do something. If there's a they there.
As Are you going towards the workshop?
Since it's the only thing that's in the area.
As you trudge forward, Nox, Fenrir, do you have any magic?
No, not at all.
No? Okay, so Nox,
That's the point. Did anything happen to the little fireball as we came through the portal?
it got dispelled.
Okay.
You feel, as you get closer, you feel like a disturbance within magic itself. Like something's not right with the magic here. It's almost the same. It is pretty much the same feeling that you got when you stepped into the Uncharted land.
Wait, does that mean that it's worse than the Uncharted?
No,
Probably.
it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same feeling. But as you get
Not
closer to
split.
the workshop, you feel it like more and more in effect. Whereas before you feel like waves of it from farther away.
Yeah, Nox would shudder visibly, but in a way that is more revulsion than cold.
Is that something, Druid?
The same warped effect on magic as back on the other side of the portal. I thought I might get a break for a time.
Well, seems we are not that far. Either that or home is rubbing off on this place.
As
Maybe
you
they're
get...
connected somehow.
How tall are the two of you?
Nox is pretty damn tall. He's
Isn't Nox like 7 foot?
Yeah, just shy of 7 feet.
Fenrir, how tall are you?
I don't seem to have written it down, so I will say 6 feet.
Okay. By the way, Fenrir, you are back to your normal human state. Forgot to mention that.
I only get 2 transformations per day. I guess I'll put up with the cold.
As you get to the workshop, you notice you are the tallest people here. As you look around, you see beings that look like elves, but are tiny, like halflings.
Halfling elves. Elflings.
So, like gnomes?
I would say similar height of gnomes. More than halflings.
Okay. Like, yeah, it's just I consider gnomes to basically be halfling elves.
As you approach, they all start to, like, scurry and go, "Intruders! Sound the alarm! Intruders!" As they all scurry.
Like, how
into
many
different
scurrying are we
buildings.
talking here?
Like, roughly, I would say maybe 20 to 25.
Over what kind of radius?
Well, you, at where you entered is kind of like, I want to say more, it's kind of like a plaza area, where, like, there's a bigger, like, factory-like building to your right, and then to your left is, like, a bunch of houses and stuff all scattered around, and in front of you is sort of like a big, like, commons building, almost. And this is kind of just like a larger open area space. It has like a nice little fountain in the middle that's frozen over. You can see that there is like water like spitting out in like a but it's like frozen as if it was
Oh,
like
wow.
spitting out.
Flash frozen.
Yeah. In the distance, now that you're closer, just above the tip of the roof of the Commons building, you can see in the distance a purplish orb. And It is spinning rapidly with these golden-esque rings around it. It suddenly stops, and then you feel a wave of the wild magic, and then it begins again.
Nox would point to it. That is going to be trouble.
Fenrir's getting over the shock of somehow the portal transforming him. He's not used to that. And doesn't seem all that bothered by random civilians running around in panic. But he'll look up and be like, "What is it?"
That's what's destabilizing the magic.
So we should break it?
No, don't break it! You can't break it! As you
Why not?
look down, there is a small elf with wearing all green and a green pointed hat with white, almost like fur going around the rim of each piece and lining the inside of the clothing itself.
Is he like grabbing onto my pants?
No, he's kind of just stood in front of you. He has like a little wooden hammer that's like at the ready.
He's just gonna look at him and be like, "Why not?"
That protects the travel for Santa.
He'll just look over at Nox and be utterly confused.
Yeah, Nox would look totally bewildered and just sort of like
Saint
do the
Nick,
whole "don't look at me"
Yulevide?
shrug.
Krampus.
Krampus is a demon.
Well, he gets that way when he's kind of angry. Not the same person, but he can get almost as angry as him. It's kind of frightening.
He'll just look back at Nox and be like, "And should we break it?
No, don't break it.
I eat things like you for breakfast."
And I'll bop you on the head. And he holds up his hammer.
Nox has a
Despite it
music
being
thought
freezing,
about three of them having to stand on each other's shoulders.
Situation, he's going to chuckle. I like this.
You can't destroy it.
Then how do we fix that?
I don't know.
Do you know what caused the portal? Is this common here?
That, in the sky. And he points to the rift that you fell out of.
Yeah. You're hoping
Yeah.
to close it.
Something slashed through the sky. Something slashed through the sky, came down, and, well, we don't know where it went. Santa went to go investigate, and he's disappeared too.
All right.
Oh, seems
How long ago was
Santa
this?
not fighting him.
Roughly an hour ago? Maybe 2?
Good. Perhaps if we can find this object.
So, whatever it is came through that portal and crash landed here, and he went to investigate it.
No, he'll look over and clarify, is that what happened?
Yes, Santa went to go investigate it.
Could you point us in the right direction? It seems that Santa and I have a similar target in mind.
It wasn't a being, though. It wasn't a person like you that came through. I saw a glimpse of it. I work at the top
was
of the
Claw?
workshop. And he points up to the workshop at a sort of higher tower with a window out of it. And he said, it looked more like a beast than a person.
Well, we still need to find out what it is. If it's opening rifts, if it opened that one, it could open more, and others who arrive in your land may be less placid than us.
Oh, no one can be entered unless they were invited.
You're saying we were invited?
Did you hear the 3 hoes?
Yes.
Then you were invited.
They must have very good standards.
I don't know about that. Santa can be kind of a fuck-up sometimes.
Let's leave that decision until after we've saved you.
Well, first we gotta fix that. And he points back to the purplish orb.
Is it broken?
So,
If we don't fix that, Santa's magic will be all kabups. And nothing will work right.
you said we couldn't break it. How is it broken?
I don't know.
That's a
When the
good
rift
start.
opened, there was a wave of energy that came through. And once it came to the orb, it started acting like that.
I would imagine that has something to do with where we came from. Magic acts in a similar fashion there.
Well, it's fucking up everything. People on the nice list are going to the naughty list. People on the naughty list are going to the nice list. It's a headache and a half.
You have the strangest priorities.
You do
But
indeed.
if it's just my land breaking it, then the only thing that'll fix it is cutting it off.
Well,
Closing the portal would be the only way.
the only issue is we haven't been able to get close enough.
Why not?
Well, there's somewhat of a barrier that shielded the whole building. It sits atop Santa's house. Well, I say house, it's more like a mansion in your world.
What do you know of our world? Doesn't seem like a familiar place from what I've seen.
I know everything about your world.
They'll just look incredulously at Nox.
We service all the worlds of the realms. Do you know how difficult that is? We have to exist outside of time itself to be able to do that.
And yet you can't fix that.
Yes. I'm not really a magical repair person. The person who that would be either Santa or the head elf. And the head elf was inside Santa's house last I knew. And as far as we know, we haven't heard from him since. So we don't know if he's part of it or if he's trapped inside.
How
And
convenient.
you'll look at Nox and be like, let the little snack have his self-righteousness. You're saying if we break through this barrier, you can fix the problem?
Possibly.
What's closer, the barrier or the object?
What object?
The
It's
one
time
that
to
went through
investigate.
The
creature.
orb. The orb is within the barrier itself. So the edge of the border of the
object.
The words are escaping me right now.
Words are difficult.
Words are
We are
difficult.
not writers, that's why we're talking.
The what's it called? It's like the dome around it. The magical dome would be closer.
Force field?
Yeah, force field. That's right. That's a word that we can
Okay.
use. That will work.
So the force field is a lot closer than where Santa went.
Yes. So, he
And
goes,
show us this pain.
I can take you there. Although, well, no, wait. Clarification. Nox. They don't know exactly how far Santa is away from the village. None of them left with him. They just know the direction he went.
Gotcha.
I mean,
So they don't know if he
that
went in
makes it
one
a pretty
direction,
safe
changed
assumption.
course, or anything.
like, if one is vaguely far away and the other one is here, let's walk there right now, usually the first option is further. So, I'll buy it. All right.
I can take you
Take us
to
there.
the orb.
I'm not entirely sure what we could do to remedy that situation.
Well,
I'm
maybe
used to
when
just
you see it,
jamming
you
my
can
claws into
figure
things
out a
until they break.
solution.
Alright, well, we can check out the orb, but I reckon we shouldn't waste too much time there. If we don't get any results anytime quick, we may be best off going to aid this Santa character. Because if his magic's going to be malfunctioning, he may need some backup. Or the problems here may become somewhat more permanent.
As long as people believe in Yule or Christmas or whatever they decide to call it, we'll be fine.
And how long do you think they'll do that with everything upside down?
Well, really the only obstacle in the way is the Church of the Saviors within your realm.
Nox would hiss at the mention of them.
They're twisting around our traditions, trying to make it their own. That's cutting off the magical supply to us being able to cross over and deliver our presents to all the young little children.
They twist everything they touch.
That is also very true.
I would like to clarify that at this point, Benmir has not even seen the mail work in our world, so all of this magic stuff sounds pretty far-fetched.
This is true. He's not seen Nox in full magical capability yet.
He is used to, like, oh yeah, magic, that's a thing that barely works. Alright, take us to this field. If I can force my way through, perhaps I can get something else.
Well, the unfortunate part is we kind of have to walk there. And it's kind of a long walk. The trolley we normally use is powered by magic, and well, let's just not come across those tracks, because we might be run over. So, as you guys begin to walk,
Forgotten the problems of home.
it takes you a minute because you guys start to outpace him, and then have to wait, and then he trudges on up forward, and this happens for a little bit before you two are just like taking a step, as he takes like 7, taking a step, as he takes another 7.
It's like walking with my mom.
I think after 20 minutes, Fenrir just picks him up.
Hey, what are you doing? Let go of me! Why? How could you just
I'm
pick me up
impatient.
without even warning? And he bops you on the head with a hammer.
I
Yeah,
imagine
so
a
just-
squeak
so just
sound
if I
as that
was
happens.
It's as if, like, it, you know in cartoons how, like, it's like one of those, like, wooden hammers that,
Yep.
yeah, it's like that. It's that sound effect. Literally that sound effect.
Bonk. And then, like, little gold stars start circling his head.
Yeah. Take 4 points of damage.
Oh, wow, he actually clocked him.
I suppose I'm healing right now, right? So I actually take
Yeah.
damage.
Yep. It is
I feel like
bludgeoning,
it would
so
be a
I
magical
think you
hobbit hammer
have.
anyway.
Yeah, it's not magical at all.
But I think you said that was only a like where like a
Yeah,
not a human
only
thing.
when you're a werewolf. Only when you're in beast forms.
After seeing him clock Fenrir, Nox would say, "If you think Santa can get angry, you should see him when he gets angry. You might not want to do that."
Hold still. I'm impatient.
Fine, that way. And he points. It's like you shall warn someone next time.
Nox gets ready to match Fenrir's new pace, assuming that he's going to speed up considerably.
Yeah, and I would assume Fenrir would go at normal pace.
Yeah, walking speed of 35 feet.
Yeah, 35 feet per minute instead of 0.2.
I think we actually have the same speed.
Yeah.
Dude,
As
we both
you get
slightly
there,
faster than humans.
as you get there are several other little elves that are like at the thing trying to like push onto the actual field itself. You can see that the field is kind of like frost covered. And do you put him down?
Eventually.
Do any of you touch the field?
Seeing that the field appears to be
I'll
frost
ask
covered,
questions first.
What'd you say, Fenrir?
I will assess things and ask questions first.
Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say, Nox?
Nox would again produce flame in his hands. So I suppose that's a D100.
Do
Um,
the 100.
Da-da-da-da. 23.
Yeah.
Wow. On a 23, you make the DM allergic to you.
So you are protected from aberrations for 1 day. Such creatures cannot attack you or harm you unless they save a charisma saving throw against your spell DC. I'm trying to. I
How
don't
many
remember.
charismatic aberrations do we know?
Is
What
this the same
these-
table that turns people into plants?
I was gonna say, this seems awfully friendly.
This is the bad table.
I need to
You've
cast
just
more
been
spells. I'm gonna be
avoiding.
immune to everything.
You've been avoiding all the bad stuff. I'm just going to tell you that one. Such as if you rolled 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 6 points higher, you would have dropped to 0 hit points immediately.
That's fine. I'd come back as someone else. It would have been like the ultimate disguise self-cast. And Fenrir would just be like,
you're no
that spell
longer
go
gonna
wrong,
be
you
like
look a
a
little
half
different.
demon, half dead thing. You're gonna be like an elf or something boring.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the most convenient thing ever.
Yeah, no,
to train while we're
there
being
are,
chased
like-
by someone.
There are some like bad stuff in this chart. You've just been lucky.
Hey, I will take it as a welcome back. Okay. Yeah. So he would produce the flame, and then he would hold it up to the barrier.
The barrier, the frost on it begins to melt, but only around it, and you see the frost, like there's a rim around the orb of fire itself, and you see the frost begin to build up further and farther and try to attack the fireball itself. If this was like a torch or something that you were just holding towards it, it would have been extinguished at this point. And as you continue to do it, you tear through the barrier itself, creating a small hole.
Quick, shove the elf through it.
You
Okay.
toss the elf
He
in.
shoves the elf through.
I was joking, but I actually think we should go with this.
Okay, so
Yeah,
as
sadly,
Fenrir
Max said it out
chucks,
loud, and Fenrir takes that seriously.
as
It was
Yeah,
Fenrir-
not
Fenrir
just like
Fenrir-
gestures at the
him
hole,
in.
like he's pointing at it, saying, "Look what I've done." But Fenrir takes it as a quick shove the elf through.
shoves the elf through, the elf is in, and he's like, I'm in! And then, as soon as he jumps
after
up,
tumbling over the snow.
he immediately turns to ice and falls to the ground.
Nox does that really awkward kind of glance between the elf and Fenrir and back and forth.
Fenrir is livid. Like,
The elf just
He
looks
thinks
at
this is
you and is
hilarious.
like, yeah, that's about the fourth elf to do that today.
Then Nox's face would just drop to the most blank, unimpressed expression and just turn to look at them. You didn't think to mention that before.
I didn't think you would do it.
Fenrir is just laughing.
I mean, it wasn't quite what I had in mind, but
Clearly.
it was a learning curve.
Yes.
So how could
So,
you break through if getting to the other side is not good enough?
problem is, if we break through, is that going to happen to everyone out here? Or is it just concentrated as some kind of defense system?
It could be the defensive system, in which case you should probably get into the house as soon as possible. But I'm not sure. The house is pretty far away. I mean, he only got 2 hurrahs. The first person to go through got nothing.
I love this measurement.
You can see his arm sticking out. And he points down the way across this half circle, and you see just a frozen arm poking out of the dome.
Okay, so...
So,
You wouldn't
Nox
happen to have
would-
any resistance to such effects, would you, Druid?
Not exactly, but I have a potential idea.
Honestly, I'd be happier with more saws.
When we move, I think we're going to have to move fast.
Agreed.
So Nox begins to cast again.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get the shenanigans out of the way with. 75.
Ooh.
Fenrir is going to suggest, or he's actually going to really more honestly ask, should I be larger again? You think that would
Please
help?
make me a dexterity saving throw. Both of you?
Do you say dexterity saving throw?
Yep.
Oh god, tell me I haven't just fireballed us.
No.
16.
What's
11.
your spell save DC?
15.
Okay, so you pass. Fenrir doesn't, and neither does the elf with you.
Oh god, I'm
So-
just murdering elves. I mean, Fenrir did say we should just murder stuff. I just didn't think it'd be
That
happy
was
little
because we
elves.
were dealing with a mystery where
I mean-
there are villains around.
I'm totally picturing Elfo from Disenchanted.
Okay,
As the elves
so
or as the Fenrir?
choose a color: blue, green, or violet.
Violet.
Fenrir and all of the elves are outlined in violet.
Oh, I love it.
As you
It's
realize,
pretty.
you just casted fairy fire on them. As well.
Definitely on fire,
At least you look warm.
but it doesn't hurt.
Nope, as long as
Fairy
nobody
fire
attacks
does
you.
literally look like you're on fire. It confuses some dumber enemies because they're like, fire.
It could also give them advantage to hit you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does have that effect, but like in this situation, it doesn't feel like that's gonna be too big of a deal. But
The
So,
elf looks at you and says, "Really? Fairy fire on all of us?"
Nox just says, "You know that thing is screwing with magic. Give me a break."
I don't know what you're casting.
Well, at least I didn't incinerate you. Yet.
It's true.
You might want to
Fenrir
step
is
back.
just like playing with the fairy
All of
fire
the elves
because
like
they've never seen it before.
collectively step back and like hurtle behind you.
So, as
I'll repeat
Nox,
myself. Should I be bigger again? Do you think that would help?
Nox says, "Whatever will give you the best resistance to the cold and the ability to move the quickest." I can't be sure how long this will hold up, and we will have to move fast.
What are you casting, by the way? You never said what you were casting.
I know. Flaming sphere.
Ah. And I
Because
guess you're
can
gonna
move
put it on the edge
Yes.
of it, make yourself a little doorway.
Step through, and then I can use my bonus action every turn to move it 30 feet with us as we move. Portable bonfire, people!
Are you surrounding it around yourself? Around the group?
I don't plan to incinerate us, no. It's more a case that, like, because it says it's a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire. So I would imagine
If
that
we
I
were
would
next
stand
to
one
it, maybe
side
we'll
of
get
it.
advantage on being cold.
Yeah, so I would stand, like, one side of it, Fenrir would stand the other, and anyone who huddles close to it as we move may get some protection from the cold.
Okay.
That's the theory, anyway.
With that in mind, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Hey, DM, could you, like, I thought my beast form made me a little faster, but I can't find it, and I know that this app doesn't always. Do you remember?
Let me just look at my homebrew stuff, and I'll look at the base thing. So give me 1 second. Races, filter.
The Constitution saving throw. If I have advantage on stuff for maintaining concentration on a spell, is it related to that?
No.
Okay, so it's just a con save.
Just con save.
Either way,
14.
my con save will be the same.
It
12.
goes up to 40.
Okay, yeah. So he'll transform into beast form again, right before telling the elves, like, try to be unalarmed, at least enough to not attack.
No promises. Yeah, no promises. What the fuck are you doing? Hey, you said fuck. Oh shit. Oh gosh, I'm
And
gonna die.
then literally, as he does that, this big ball of fire, like half again the height of one of the elves, just
Okay, so I just want to picture at
He's
the
gonna
exact same point
incinerate
in
us
time,
all.
one of them is summoning a small sun. Like the demon is summoning a small sun, and then right next to him, the like large human is getting larger, growing fur, fangs, and teeth.
bear in mind
He's
that
turning
in that
into a
city,
demon.
Nox has the thing on that
Run.
changes his head.
And
to
they all
look human.
scurry.
Please tell me at least one goes in through the hole.
Or goes into the fireball.
No, they all scurry into the village because they were all behind you. They all huddled together behind you after you said to step back.
Fair enough.
Fenrir will just chuckle.
The only elf with you is the elf that has been guiding you this whole time. And he's currently more towards Nox as he's looking at Fenrir like, don't eat me.
No promises.
Don't you dare. I will put you on the naughty list.
If you
Right
want
now,
in, you're
that would
gonna
be the nice list, right?
And you want to know who reads that naughty list? Krampus.
get on, Snack. You're gonna need to get there
Right.
fast.
Okay, so Nox finishes summoning this fireball in front of him, and then he looks like he's pushing, like rolling a boulder, and he just starts to move forward.
Alright, what are your con saves looking like? Alright,
I
so
think
we
I got a 14.
14 and 12. Alright, so as you're running and rushing towards this, as you get to the door, Fenrir, you are literally like within the doorway, like your foot is outside the doorway and it freezes, turns to ice. And as you finish your run, it unfreezes.
Close one.
Whew, I thought it was a goner.
Don't count yourself lucky yet. We don't know what's going on inside here.
Well,
No, but
I mean,
we've
you're
got
not
further than any
frozen,
of
your
the
foot
others.
was, so I assume it was the house's defense mechanism. Now, where's the head elf?
you know where.
I'll sniff around.
So, as you sniff around, all of the elves smell of peppermint, gingerbread, cheer,
This is why I've been calling them
Cheer!
Snack.
What does cheer smell like?
like happiness.
Here smells like strawberries.
And as you do, there are scents literally going everywhere. You can't really track things down. You do smell a woman who smells of cookies and pie. And you also smell
got
of
here.
a man that smells of cookies and milk.
All I can find are the little ones, or two different humans. I can smell that one is female and one is male. Don't ask me how.
Oh, that would probably be Santa and Mrs. Claus. Yeah, she's normally in the kitchen. We can go check out her.
Would she know where the head elf is?
Maybe.
Well, that's a start.
It's been a while since I've been to the kitchen. Was it the right or the left?
Walk in first. I don't think either of us need.
I think it's the left.
As he takes you through the left wing
Is
of the house.
Is that where the smell went for the girl?
It kind of goes everywhere. I mean, it's her house, so
Okay.
scent's kind of everywhere.
Sure. Okay. I just wanted to clarify before you just blatantly went the wrong direction.
As you go to the left wing of the house, you first enter the first floor, like, dining hall, and he goes,
Yes, it is this side of the house. That should be the door into the kitchen.
as you go forward, it is very eerie in this room. The only things that you can hear are the sounds of your footsteps and the creaking of the floorboards as you walk forward. Each step creating a new and different creak than the last. And as you reach the door and open it, you see a larger human woman baking a pie. And she goes, "Oh, why, hello there. Who might you be?"
We'll squeeze in through the door and go through and just in a beastly voice. Not easily startled, are you?
"Oh, a werewolf. Interesting. I haven't seen one of you since I was almost eaten by one."
Whoops.
Nox would duck through the door and go, "This one's relatively tame, I wouldn't worry."
I wouldn't say that you have to duck too far.
This is a human-sized door.
Santa's
I'm just
house
like,
is
we're just-
more human height in terms of doors ways, so it's around like 6 or 7 foot high in terms of like the doorways, so you don't have to duck too much.
Mind you, the
Anyway,
illusion
it's
hides
broad.
horns, but they are still there.
Yes.
So he would still instinctively duck, so
Mhm.
as not to bang invisible horns on a frame.
I'm imagining Nock ducking through every doorway now, even when he has like a full foot of space.
Ah, and you. Oh, and I don't think I've had you over, little elf.
But you said you were from this place.
I work in the workshop. I work in the workshop. I don't work in Santa's house.
Well, he's the only one who made it through the defenses, so he's our guide for the moment.
Well, I was carried by you. So,
True, he was kind of abducted.
yeah. Oh, abduction is really, really bad. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to punish you for doing such to one of our lovely little elves.
It was borderline rescuing.
That is true, Mrs.
We need
Claus.
to take him up to the ball so that he can fix it. Do you know
Oh.
where the high elf is?
We hear your...
Yes,
Partner
he should
is
be
in
up there
trouble.
fixing it right now. Come with me.
Well, at least I guess he can use some help.
And she
This
takes
is
you
holding
up.
my foot now.
She takes you out of the kitchen and up a set of stairs. And she goes. She opens the door to like a balcony that has the orb. It's on like the top floor. It's kind of like a rooftop balcony. And she goes, "Oh no, I didn't realize the defenses were turned on. Oh, Santa must have turned them on when he rushed in a huff when that damn rift opened."
Well, he invited us in here, so I assume he needs help of some kind.
He invites several people in here in their lifetimes. Doesn't mean that you're meant to help, but helping is all the better. Now where the hell did I put my key for the defenses? Oh, it must be
Are the
back in the
defenses
kitchen.
not protecting the elves from the cold?
Oh, we elves are okay. We don't do much. We got our wool-lined clothing, and it doesn't get too cold here.
I literally
Yeah.
just watched one freeze to death.
That would be the
I think it
defenses.
turns you into ice.
The defenses will turn you into ice, yes.
Oh,
Lethal round.
huh. didn't do a good
Huh?
job then. If you just sprint through fast enough, it doesn't work.
I mean, yes, but you also had a fireball. That would also help.
For a second, I thought he was going to call me crazy.
I mean, you are crazy. Sitting here at like 9 foot tall now. For
Do I
everywhere.
get a lot taller? I've never confirmed. Do I get a lot taller with this?
I would say you gain like a foot or two.
Okay.
You're not that much taller, but you're a little taller.
On the edges of medium size.
Yeah. Well,
Not for the same height.
where's the control panel for the defenses, ma'am? Oh, it's in our bedroom. Come. As she brings you into the bedroom, you see a contraption of which Nox brings you back to when you saw the contraption within Yen Sidrick's office. Buttons and knobs and magical screens. On it says, defenses active. Defense system, ice sculpture.
Like that's an option that you actively choose.
Well, there's also gingerbread, and there's nutmeg, and there's eggnog. Eggnog's for the worst cases. It turns you to eggnog.
That sounds messy.
It is. Especially if an elf gets through and we turn it off. It's not fun putting them back together.
They literally turned themselves into food.
There's one for candy canes. That one's kind of crude, though.
Fenrir is pretty livid. He thinks all this is hilarious. He's even forgotten about all of the problems they've been having just because this is so fun.
All right, let's
found
try
a machine
turning
that
this
turned
off. And
food
the elf
into more
hops
food.
up on the chair and starts typing away on like the knobs and the buttons. And it says, Master Override. Mrs. Claus? What was my Master Override again? Oh yeah, Christmas cookies. Alright. And on there is green text that says, Master Override accepted. Hello, Mrs. Claus.
How does the screen move? He
It's-
whispers to Nox.
Best not say.
Christmas magic.
Must be some eldritch horror.
Power defenses shutting down. Error. 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 Error.
What does the roar mean?
Smoke starts to come up from the buttons itself, and he goes, uh-oh, that's not good. Shut down. Shut down. Shut down. And everything turns off and back on. And it goes, defense system deactivated. Transformations undone.
I wonder if
Error.
they'll forgive you.
Transformations in place. Uh-oh, that's not good.
What does the roar mean?
Well, That means that the transformations are still in place, and that defense systems are somewhat active, but they won't turn you into eye sculptures anymore.
Is it cookies this time?
No, it just won't turn anyone back. I suspect it might be because of the orb, but I don't know. It probably is. That orb has been making all my cookies burn to a crisp.
Well, we best get it sorted then.
Please do. As you are led back up and open the door, the head elf is still frozen in ice as he is like mid-run to the orb. And this elf actually looks normal-sized.
We got a bunch of gnomes and just an elf. My tallest. Is someone else able to fix it?
I don't know. I mean, you could try. You know magic and such.
No. I know of no such thing.
He's looking at Nox. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
He's looking at Nox.
I take it regular fire won't thaw him out.
You do that and you'll melt him. And that
I
would
was afraid
mean
you might say that.
most likely death.
Well, I doubt I can make the situation any worse, but,
Pulse.
well... Yeah, I suppose you would give it a go.
You are
Alright.
rather crafty for druids, I know.
Question is,
Honestly.
how are you going to identify this?
Identify what?
Question, do you have identify?
I don't think you can.
No, because I'm not a cleric.
Ah.
Well, I am a cleric, but I don't have identify. I'm not that type of cleric.
Do you have
Identify is like a wizard and sorcerer thing, usually.
And forged domain clerics.
But yeah, that's true. Very specific.
Yeah, I do not have identify.
Nope. So how would you like to do this? Are you going to
Great
just
luck.
straight up go for it?
An Arcana roll with a tool proficiency?
It would be an Arcana roll, either way. So
Yeah, which is just an intelligence check, and he's a wisdom character, so... I mean, it's a matter of survival. Could I roll survival?
no, I know what you're trying to do. Get that +7.
I have detect magic, but I don't know if that would help with identifying.
I mean, you could.
It would give you a
I would
school
learn the
and-
school of magic.
And you would know exactly where the magic is.
That
So
is
there's
true.
like
So I will
A
go
control
with
panel
detect.
that's not magical.
That seems like a pretty safe start, so I'll go with detect magic to begin with.
Alright, roll me that D100.
Just as I say about a safe start. 26. Deja vu.
Oh, nice. I don't think anyone around you is damaged, though, so it doesn't really help. All creatures around you within 60 feet regain 2d8 hit points.
Oh, dude, I'm damaged. I got
Does
hit by a
that
hammer.
thaw out the head elf?
No.
Damn it.
I'm damaged. Roll 2d8 to heal me.
Okay, go ahead. Or actually, you should not be. Write down your health. Fenrir.
I got hit by a hammer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you got one.
I was
Hey,
about to
good
say, wait, your health might be at what it was for the episode, so you're gonna need to go back to that after.
I'm just, I got hit by a hammer. That's why I'm not.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
Was it at least 4?
Yeah, it was 8.
Yeah, it was 8.
Nice. There we go. Back
Okay.
home.
So, you know that this is a hodgepodge of all schools of magic. However, it is affecting the pedestal and not the orb itself. The orb itself seems to be more of like a weather control system. As well as a distribution system for magic itself. But the pedestal that supplies it with magic is what is affected.
Okay. Knox would relay said information to the others and say, it's not the orb itself that's malfunctioning, it's whatever that is. And he would point to it.
Tick, tick. Well, I mean, it could be removed. Oh, that's on tight.
You want me to try?
I mean, we could try. Where's the... And he pulls a lever, and the orb stops.
Crunk.
And the purple energy within it kind of just drain out. And he goes, well, I think I found the power switch. Let's see here. And he just so happens to do it, and he lifts it up, and he goes, oh, could it have been what was inside the pedestal? And not the pedestal itself?
Knox would peer closer. The spell would still be active.
As you are peering at this large crystal ball that has all of this magical energy within it, and you start to see it start to like crack and heal itself and crack and heal itself as it's just... And do you touch it?
It's D&D, why the hell not? Yeah, sure.
As you touch it, there is a large pulse of wild magic that kind of knocks you back for a
changes
minute.
color.
So it's unstable in some form.
It might blow. I've seen crystal balls blow before whilst watching over people of the realms. This one seems mighty unstable.
Have you got any you can replace it with?
That would be his job. And he points at the elf.
Do you at least have a second in command?
Unfortunately, this kind of has never happened before.
Well, let me make it
Single
a suggestion
person, unavailable.
going forward. Who trained him?
Santa.
Nox would mutter some kind of curse under his breath.
Don't you curse at
We don't
Santa.
find him. At least this won't be getting worse until it explodes.
Oh, nothing can explode here.
Just like how nothing can break.
Yep. Santa's
That
magic
seems
keeps
promising.
that in check. Nothing can die here as well. Why, I'm 2.4 million years old.
You look good.
Fenrir's just gonna lean over to Nox and be like, "The eggnog elves didn't die."
What a way to live.
Well, you see, we exist outside of time, as I stated before, so we technically don't age.
All right, I'm seeing the best solution here is to go get Santa.
Nox
Before I
would
walk away from this
chant
conversation.
a mending cantrip on the crystal.
Go ahead and roll another D100.
75.
75. Didn't you do that one earlier? Yes, you did.
Yeah, I've already done that one. That one's the one that made me immortal, I think.
Nope. Everyone roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, that's that one.
What's your spell save again?
15. You're pretty again.
I got 12.
Are you choosing the violet again?
No, we'll go green.
Green, so everyone glows with green, including Mrs. Claus. And she goes, "Whoa, what is this?"
Hey, what is this? He starts patting it, being like, "Ooh, look, fire."
Nox doesn't notice because he's just concentrating on trying to mend the crystal ball.
As you're mending it, you get the thought, what if I were to just crack it fully and let the magic expel?
That sounds like one of those thoughts that you shoo away and say, "No, bad."
Yeah, like what if I push this annoying person in front of a bus?
Well,
You listen to the DM, but still, it sounds like a really bad thought.
you get this thought because
Like I have
as
Jack on
you're
one shoulder
casting,
and Dante on the other.
as you're casting mending, you feel the spell merge with another mending spell that is already happening and has been constantly happening.
And is it the mending that is sending the pulse out?
Could be.
Or is it the cracking that's sending the pulse out?
The cracking. But the cracking is always followed with the mending.
So at least if you fully cracked, it would only happen once. Okay. Let's break shit.
In the background, Fenrir is slowly explaining with his long words how magic is weird where he comes from.
What are you doing with that dagger? Nox?
Do I even have a dagger?
I'm pretty sure you have a dagger on you.
Oh, I have a small knife.
It works.
The instability is caused by the constant repairing of this and the constant breaking. I've tried to fully repair it and that hasn't worked, so maybe fully breaking it is what's required.
I mean, could be, but also might just kaboom?
You said
I'm
no
worried
one
about
could
an
die here,
explosion. I
right?
could.
Yes. None of us elves can. I don't know what's gonna happen to you two.
I'm feeling lucky. And he would just strike at the crystal.
So you strike right as like a crack forms, and you get blasted back as like a jet of magical energy just flows and beacons straight into the sky.
Do I have superpowers now?
Can I catch him?
As soon as the beacon stops, the knife is thrown out basically of it. And the system begins to start closing in on itself. locking itself in place, and then the lever that the elf pulled down to shut it off flicks up again and starts the system. And you start to see it start to, instead of filling with this dark purplish energy, it's like a merger of, there's some red that swirls around, there's some green that swirls around, some gold, some silver, some blue, all in like harmony with each other. And the orb is no longer spinning super fast and stopping almost immediately. It is just the golden arms are swinging around peacefully. And you feel as magic has been fixed.
Well, that did something. Is it better?
Nox would cast his little produce flame cantrip again.
Fireball.
Magic is extra powerful here.
No, just normal little tuff of flame.
I believe that has solved things. Now we need to go about rescuing Santa.
In
Or
the
at least
distance,
finding whatever he was looking for.
you hear a large roar.
I take it he's in that direction.
But that's near us. He couldn't be that close. Could he?
Makes it more convenient.
I don't know.
I would focus on getting the elves and everything back up and running. And thawing out that head elf of yours if he's the only one with useful information. We'll go and check on this Santa.
Yeah, good idea. As you all do so, you come face to face with Santa. He is in all red. He is dressed up fully.
Does he look like the woman? Vaguely.
He looks like a human version of the woman. Very large belly, and he's holding a candy cane like staff within his hand, and he goes, "Oh, I'm glad I summoned you. My magic almost failed me." Oh.
Darn, I was hoping for a fight.
Oh, well, this combat isn't over yet. As you see in front of him a large owlbear, but like it is different than the owlbears that you know. He is split. Half normal, half like about to like murder. No, like half normal, half like about to whatchamacallit. Not about to, like half like dark, like black, inky.
Your face?
And he is angry. Can I have y'all roll me some initiative?
20.
adjust this so that I can have people see a little more properly. There we go.
11.
All right. So we got a 20. Did you roll initiative? No, you did not. Nox.
11.
Where'd you roll it?
Same place as usual.
Okay. I mean, it didn't show up. That's why.
It's a conspiracy.
Hey, all your other rolls are perfectly fine. As well as, it's an 11. It wasn't a 20. Okay, Santa
What?
got us.
Mine was a
Exactly. So
20.
I didn't need to prove anything with an 11.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, Fenrir, you go first. He is...
Yeah, you heard me. I said mine was 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is 45 foot in front of you.
Animal handling, go.
Fenrir will recognize that this is a monstrosity that seems extra weirdly monstrous, and that knocking it out will be a better course of action than trying to be cut and friendly. He'll take out a longbow and shoot twice as he goes 35 feet forward.
Alright, roll to hit. $21 hits.
$11 piercing damage. Does a 9 hit?
9 does not hit.
Alright.
And you move how far forward?
35 feet forward. And I'll leave it be at that. I have a bunch of bonus actions, and none of them are useful.
Alright. Nox's turn.
Is it still cold to the point that stuff is freezing relatively
Nope.
immediately?
Temperature is normal now.
Okay, there goes that creative.
Normal for the winter pulls, or
Normal for winter.
okay?
All right.
But it's still snow temperature. It's just not instantly freeze stuff temperature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on the owl monstrosity.
Okay.
It's a Dex 15 save.
Plus, so 16.
Oh. Okay, so he's all right.
Oh, by the way, I dropped my bow, the end of my turn,
Oh, okay.
just on the ground.
Let me just... The problem with being a druid is all of your abilities are tucked away in really obscure parts of the character sheet.
I found that Beyond is not the most convenient for druids.
No, it's really not.
No, it really isn't.
Okay, no, that's an action, not a bonus action. Okay, that's me done. I would move... I'd say that I would strafe rather than approach. So I would probably move 10 feet off to one side. so that I've got a clear angle around Fenrir.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say 10 feet off to the right.
10 feet off to the right of the bear, or 10 feet off to the right of Fenrir himself.
Where they are, where he is.
10 feet to the right of where I currently am.
Okay.
Like,
So
being
45 feet down, 10 feet over.
sort of
Nope,
moving in
that's
a
fine.
circle around, maintaining that distance from the bear.
Alright. Santa goes ahead and kind of does the opposite. He goes right 10, up 10. So kind of diagonally 15.
Mhm.
And he is going to go ahead and cast, not at like 8th level. He is going to go ahead. No. He is going to cast Scorching Ray.
I'm imagining Fat Jolly Santa doing like a
Say
weird,
beast.
like somatic components, and then 3 beams appear next to him shooting at the thing.
Oh, he just gets that. 'Cause what is that, 13? Yeah, he just got
I
that.
get the impression he shouts ho with every beam that goes out.
Ho, 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 you motherfucker. 8 points of damage.
Uh,
Can't remember, did you? No. Nox, did you damage him?
No.
no,
No, he didn't.
it was a fairy fire.
That's
I
right.
damaged him.
That failed.
That's right.
I shot an arrow.
It is now time for the owlbear. And he is going to go ahead and move forward 5 feet and attack Fenrir with his
I'll use my reaction to brace when he gets in.
14.
14 misses.
All right, and then he's going to try to beak at you with a 23
That hits.
with a 11 points of damage.
Would you like it to be magical?
Yes, is it going to be magical?
Okay, I'm gonna brace so I attack as a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
We will use fight 24 to hit.
24 hits.
So I meet the charging thing with a fight, dealing 8
Points of damage.
piercing damage.
Alrighty. Fenrir, your turn.
Oh wait, sorry, add another d8.
Oh.
So a total of 13 piercing damage.
Just add the 5.
Yeah, add 5.
Fenrir, it's your turn now.
Okay. Fenrir will go ahead and try to bite at him. 18 to hit.
Hits.
I'm gonna do a tripping attack.
Okay.
They need to make a strength saving throw, DC 16. And either way, I'm gonna add the
Fails.
damage to. Fail?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 8. So 19 piercing damage, and it is prone. I'll
Alrighty.
try to bite again with advantage because it's prone.
Mm-hmm.
Crit.
Crit. Ho, 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 don't you kill that bear.
I'm gonna also use a maneuver here, probably. I'll go ahead and do. I'm gonna do disarm, even though I don't think it's holding anything, just to add the damage.
Did he say don't kill it?
Mm-hmm. Are you doing lethal damage?
I'll do non-lethal.
Alright.
So 22
The bear is
piercing
unconscious.
damage. I would like to say after the bear came up to meet him, he'll catch him with his mouth, a few hits from the outside, and help from fairy fire. He got his jaws around the bear's neck and just held it until he lost consciousness.
Now that's a good boy. How are you all today? Thank you for helping me. I don't know how this thing got in.
There's a problem dealing with our world. What is the shadowness? Is it still there?
As you look over towards the rift, it is still there.
Oh, I meant the shadow half of the bear.
Oh, yes.
They don't, at least from what I've heard of these monsters, they don't typically have literal dark sides.
They don't. This one was implanted, cursed, or experimented on. But don't worry, I shall purify it. As he taps his candy cane staff onto the owlbear's head, the inky blackness of that half shadow, at the point where he tapped it on his head, it vanishes, and the inky blackness floats into the sky and off into the ether.
Is it going to hurt something else?
Oh no. He'll go and join the others. Let's go back home.
So you think the bear was here already? And the blackness is what broke?
No, he wasn't. But he'll remain here. Why send him back to that city? When he could remain here and enjoy the rest of his life in the wilds.
Agreed. I still am worried about a curse, though. We know nothing of who caused it.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. After all, he's most likely on the naughty list already.
I tend to make a habit of worrying.
I know.
Let's look candidly at that. How do I look at North?
I know everything about you. Ever since you were a little boy.
This is weird.
How so?
I'm just gonna let that be.
Okay. Let's go back home. And he takes you all back to his house. And he brings you into his study. He sits in a large red armchair. As he sits down, next to him on a table is some cookies and milk. And he goes, sit, sit. And he points to this simple a couch that is on one side of the room next to the chair.
Face.
And he goes, "How could I reward you for saving me and saving the magic within this place?"
General look pretty like eyebrows raised. It's like I was not expecting a reward.
Why would I not reward you?
I'm gonna be like, the only rewards I've gotten are from Uller himself. I
That
don't even know what's
isn't
happening.
entirely true. Look back upon your memories. On the days of Yule, you've been granted some good fortune from time to time. When you were little.
Luck on
That
the winter
wasn't
solstice.
always Uller's good graces. Some of that was my magic at work.
Hmm.
You see, I don't only give presents. Some people don't need gifts. They need luck, or they need hope. Subtle things that lead to bigger rewards later on. Maybe not on the same day, but they lead to them being happier.
Fenrir's gonna be lost in thought. Be more like
Not
difficult to focus on rewards with such a big problem. Our world has an issue. We need to find certain people and stop them. I don't know how to do it.
Yes, unfortunately, I cannot help with murder.
Circles. Junox.
That would be another one's job. We don't talk about him.
Be curious.
Oh? What about?
One whose job it would be.
Why, Krampus? He's in the liking of murder and twisting the fate of the naughty. That's why he gets the naughty list, and I get the nice list. Two sides of the same coin, if you will.
Did you actually know everything about any world, including locations?
Including what? I'm sorry?
Locations?
For the most part. What would you like to know?
I worry that our goal may remain hidden. Knowing where to find what we look for would ease my mind.
Very soon, you will meet one. That is all I can tell you, unfortunately. Anything else, and that would be meddling in the affairs of fate. And that would not be wise to meddle in. I will say, you will meet one, and another, and another. Have faith in your abilities. And question everything. Including why Lord Petdan would even try to accomplish this.
Is that a name I'm supposed to recognize?
That was the one who is the lord over the dungeon that you were trapped in.
The one whose
Oh, okay.
henchman we're currently hunting in present time.
Mm-hmm.
Why he would have wanted to capture me?
No, why he would want to release the seals, keeping the dungeon locked.
I have just presumed he was a servant, like me to Uller.
He is, and he isn't. Life isn't always black and white.
I have to admit I know nothing about him.
Nox?
My memories of him are hazy. He just instills a instinctual fear in me.
Well,
Something remembers.
he trained you. You were once part of his legion.
Yes, I remember very little of it.
Well, let's say those memories are best kept lost. The torment and torture you went through is nothing but disgusting.
Yes, and I quite like where I'm at now.
I quite like where you are now as well. Would you like to know the story of why Lord Petdan is trying so hard to accomplish this?
If you know such.
I
Not
do.
would nod.
It is a bit of a story, to be fair. Some of it lost to history itself, so it might be a little crude in its telling. But long ago, before the written history of the land you now call the Uncharted Land was very different. In fact, the portion of the land which is now known as the Uncharted Land was almost entirely covered in ocean. Although several islands dotted the landscape of this cove. And something also most curious to you young'uns. Nari once had a moon. Although, I don't know if you know of what a moon is.
Yeah, I was about to ask about the moon.
A moon was an astral body that floated within the sky and set and rose with every sunset and set with every sunrise. It was
You're telling me a werewolf doesn't know what a moon is?
well,
Yeah, ever, so no.
who can blame him? The moon has not been in the sky of Nari for almost 3 million years. The concept of such a body would be lost to time. Anyways, back to the story. It is somewhat of a love story, if I do say so myself. Our story revolves around a young man and the goddess of the moon. A long time ago, this place, now referred to as the Uncharted Land, was once part of the sea. I just repeated that. There were several islands surrounding this cove, one of which was right where the city of Fargan was today. However, the city was not built yet. Instead was a small fishing village and a temple dedicated to the goddess of the moon. You see, back then, the goddess of the moon, Luna, was fascinated with the life on Nari. The fish, the people, all manner of living things. However, she was never able to leave the night sky until what people referred to on land as a new moon. What would happen during a new moon is the moon would not be visible in the sky. For several days, the moon would appear to be absent, and what your normal night skies would look like would be there. It would be no moon. All that covered the night sky would be stars. Nothing more and nothing less. During these few days, she would be able to go to the surface of Nari in mortal form, through the temple. However, she would only be able to be upon the land for a short span of time. She could never remain on land once the new moon ended. During these visits, she met priests of the temple and fell in love with the young man. Wait, 1 second. I skipped ahead there. No, gonna scratch that whole sentence that I just did. During one of the visits, she met a priest of the temple. They fell in love like youngins, and throughout the years their love grew boundless. Though while Luna did not age over the years, the priest began to grow old and gray. Blinded by love, the young man sought a way to live with Luna for the rest of time. So he sought the counsel of the gods. Casting a ritual, unknowingly he was actually convening with the demon lord, Shar. Demon Lord Shar is a trickster. Whilst he will help you for a price, he will also twist what you are longing for his own enjoyment. And that is exactly what he did. Demon Lord Shadar granted the man eternal life. However, what the man did not know was that until the ritual was completed, Lord Shadar turned the man into a lich and used a priceless vase within his home as his phylactery. Several days later, the man was rejuvenated to how he was when he first met Luna. Wait 1 second. I lost my place. I scrolled. However, their time together was drawing to a close, as within the realm of the gods, alarm bells were ringing as a lich was born. Whilst the gods had yet to determine if this lich was powerful enough to destroy the world or do any sort of damage, they were still in disarray, searching every world and everywhere to hope to destroy it. During this time, however, Luna was discovered through her actions of going down to the mortal world. As alarm bells were ringing, the gods tore her ability from being able to go upon land and forced her to stay within the realm of the gods or in the night sky. This destroyed the man's. And as eras passed, he grew more vengeful and hateful. As the village grew, he fed upon the souls of visitors and travelers that came to the temple, not feeding on everyone to not arouse suspicion. After some time, Luna actually was able to escape, as the gods seemed to lax a little bit over the years of not being able to find the man for being a lich. They looked other places. Although when she arrived, the man she loved was no more, replaced with a man that was vindictive and ever so angry with rage. So full of rage that she was not even able to be recognized by him. With no luck and a broken heart, she returned to the gods. The gods realized what she did and punished her for disobeying them. Her punishment was extreme, however, more extreme than the gods should have done, in my opinion, at least. The punishment is that they would be locking her away in the same cage, same prison as the demon prince within the world she loved so much. On that day, dragons descended upon the temple itself and forcefully opened the door to the prison and threw Luna in. With this, his rage grew more, and he killed all the dragons that were present. Shortly after, however, he cursed the land, making the seas recede and making the fishermen starve. The temple was slowly destroyed and dismantled, and the village that you now know as Fargan was built. And well, you know most of the history of what happened after that, with all the killings and the Tarasques and whatnot being around the realm, and the war of the saviors. As for Luna, she is still imprisoned. However, something notable happened. Before Luna was imprisoned, magic was only possible to nobility and kings. After she was imprisoned, ordinary people, common folk, were able to use magic. Although more powerful beings can tell, Most people who use magic can only use magic passively. They do not have an innate ability. Therefore, if she were to leave her prison and the magic were to go, most people in the world would lose the ability to wield magic. However, opening these gates would also release the Demon Lord, or the Demon Prince, at the same time. His influence much greater, and as such, we do not know if she has been controlled by him over the years, being imprisoned. I, for one, hope not. For if she returns and turns to a blood moon, werewolves will run rampant, and all manner of creatures will run ravageous.
Finward just looks incredulously. Like, I'm right here, man.
I know you are good, but the influence the moon has over werewolves especially is powerful. It is primal and written into your very being. It is not something that your willpower alone would be able to stop.
He'll just kind of huff. It's like, I guess I gotta believe you, because I've never seen a moon before.
Yes, well, that is unfortunately the sad reality of Lord Petdan. Broken-hearted lover trying to reunite with his love. Doing it in the wrong way, if you ask me. But I am not to be involved.
To repeat one part, you said that magic would go away. Was that if she comes back?
It
or
is
if she stays gone?
It is possible that if she were to emerge from the prison, that yes, magic would go away for ordinary folk. Although I will say, Nox, you don't have anything to worry about.
I mean, what that sounds to me like is no more wizards, like literally, specifically wizards.
Common folk, yes. Although over the years, because nobility were always mating with each other for their own magic to be kept, bloodlines have diverged, such as Nox here. I see within you that you have some sliver of a nobility bloodline, as from where I have no clue. But that would allow you to
I didn't even know you were part human.
Not saying that it is
doesn't
human.
have to be human.
No. What were you going to ask, Nox?
No, when he said that I had nothing to worry about, I was just going to say that I'm aware that magic has effectively been built into what I am.
Yes, it has been. Although I will say, other people will not be so lucky. The doors will open soon, but how soon is anyone's best guess. Now I must
Yeah.
I must ask you both a question. Hearing this story, hearing what Lord Petdan's true intentions, do you find him to be an evil man?
His goal may not be evil, but his methods certainly are.
Saw in his opposition.
He has now a wide smile and he says, I thought you would say that. And please, keep this in mind.
Do you know of some
When you
way
face him.
for his goals to be reached and ours as well? I simply hope to stop the summon of the Demon Lord. As much as a moon should mean to me, I've never seen one, so.
That will be up to you. Unfortunately, I cannot see such pathways. I am not a wielder of fate.
Well, unfortunately, Lord Petdan seems intent on doing away with me, since I'm a rogue element to his former force.
He is only after you because, well, you abandoned him.
It does make negotiation difficult.
It will.
I thought you were supposed to be one of his servants. That's why he needed to capture you.
I was once, but I...
Yes,
got
I
away.
thought he was capturing you because he needed another.
No, he had planned to kill me. He doesn't like it when people get away,
No, he does not.
given it's never happened before.
Oh, it's happened before, and he grows more and more angrier every time it happens.
The giant man-eating werewolf just stands up straight and says, well, he should get a hold of his anger problems.
Says the cat. Says the. What is that? What is that saying? Something to the kettle.
Kettle.
Yeah, something to the kettle. I can't remember what
Pot,
it is.
pot to the kettle.
Yeah, it says the pot to the kettle. Fenrir, you're more like him than you would egg to differ. The only thing is your task. You are clear-minded and clearly still have a conscience. He does not, and he will try to bide to anything he can achieve to his goals.
I'll just think about that, but then he'll be like, well, we should continue stopping them as soon as possible then. How can we return?
Why, I can return you. Let me just fix that crack in the sky. And he takes you out to the balcony and he goes, why is Victor frozen?
Something about defense systems? I think he was just incompetent.
No, they're on the fritz again. Alright. He takes out his candy cane staff and he chants something and points it directly at it. From the staff, a spark shoots out that fizzles and goes through to the crack, and it stitches it back together and pulls it tight as if it never existed. And he goes, well, now that that's over, I can send you all back. There's someone waiting for you, you know.
And Fenrir's gonna get excited, and then as soon as his tail's wagging, he's gonna realize, oh, wait. We're gonna be in the middle of the city.
Yes.
Back to person we go.
Nox, remember to go see the cat lady. After this.
I will.
She sent you that note to talk to you about them.
We will go and see her.
Fenrir, you be nice to the cat lady. She is a dear old friend of mine.
He's gonna be confused by that. Well, why does he call her a cat lady?
You will see.
You will definitely see. Ho, ho, ho. And he taps his staff, and and sparkles begin to erupt around you as it covers everything you can see. And as they dissipate, you're back in front of the statue, and everything has turned back to normal. And that will be the end of our Christmas tale this year.
Yay.
How'd you guys think of it? Different.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It was
have to
more-
admit, when you said Luna, I pictured a pony, but
Yeah. And then the whole story is all canonical.
nice. I like them a lot.
So you got to
Yeah,
see
I
a different...
liked the fact that it was more aiding and helping than purely combative, you know?
Mhm. It was also very Christmas themed,
Yes.
with Santa and his workshop and his
Santa
little
wasn't
elves.
a bad guy. I was so convinced Santa was going to be a bad guy.
No.
I enjoyed a quick combat, but
You didn't
I often
ask,
enjoy
though, a
combat.
question that I was thinking you were going to ask when he mentioned that the cat lady was an old friend of his.
I just don't ask questions when it comes to the cat lady and the fact that she seems to know everyone and everything.
Why do you think she knows everyone and everything?
Oh my gosh, she's the demon lord.
Oh, good God. I mean, I do think cats are evil, but that...
No, she is not a
took a
demon
turn.
lord.
That really took a turn.
She is not a demon lord. I can confirm that. I will confirm that. She ain't no demon lord.
Oh man, she's a dreaming lord.
No. That reminds me, I have to finish the intro for the next campaign. That'll be interesting. You're going to learn a lot. But that is where we're going to end it for tonight. So, have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Kwanzaa, or what's the other one? Hanukkah.
I love it.
And we will
Words
see
are
you
hard.
all. We will see you all at the beginning of the year, as next week we won't have a session. So, goodbye.
Bye.